Hello everyone. This is part two of the same video that we had started off last time. That is the infrared remote. Uh, okay, we had written this part of the code. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to paste those numbers somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to use them. So let me show you how I will use them. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use only 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons. So that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons. So I'll remove the rest of them. I don't need it at the moment. So this actually corresponds to 0 button. This actually corresponds to button number 1. This corresponds to button number 2. This corresponds to button number 3. This corresponds to button number 4. Okay. What I am going to do is I am going to use two LEDs. So button number 1 is to going to make my green LED on. Button number 1 is going to make the green LED button on. Um, Number 2 is going to make green LED off. This is going to make red LED on. This is going to make red LED off. 0, all LEDs off. So that means I'm going to use two LEDs. One is going to be a green LED, one is going to be a red LED. So let's make those. Uh, Guys, let us not use it directly from the Arduino. Now we are going to use a breadboard now. Okay, and let's use a breadboard. On the breadboard, I'll use my IR sensor. I am going to power the breadboard. Let's color them properly. Okay. So this is going to be ground. So this is going to be ground. This is power. So this is going to be power. So let me color this as black. That is grounded. This is going to be connected to pin number 12. So let's connect this to pin number 12. Alright. Let's color this as different. Let's have some LEDs. Okay, one LED. Let's have this LED as red, and I can just copy paste it, and let's have another one. We will connect the negatives to negatives. Okay, I'll use only one resistance as usual. I prefer using a single resistance on the negative side, so I'll power to the negative. So you can see that. Let's have it black. The same negative goes to this also. So all both the negatives of the both the LEDs are actually connected. One was a green LED, one was a red LED. Okay. The negatives of both the LEDs are now connected. The positives actually we need to connect to pin number whatever, any two digital pins. Let's make them 4 and 5. So let's connect this one to pin number 4. and let's connect this to pin number 5. Let's color these with a different color. Okay, let's color this as green. This is going to be a green LED. Let me color this as orange. I can color it red. Alright, the connections are done. So we have two LEDs. We have all connections are okay. LEDs are connected to 4 and 5. The IR sensor is connected to pin number 12. And that part is already coded, so that should not be a problem. We need to figure out the rest of the stuff. Okay, let me make this as int now for all things concerned. Int green LED is equal to green LED is connected to 5. You can see that green thing going there is 5, and int red LED is equal to 4. Alright. In the setup function, I need to specify the pin modes. Pin mode of green LED, comma output, and pin mode of red LED as output. Done. Now what do we do? I don't need this value thing kind. I don't need to display it because I've already displayed them, and those values I already have over here. Okay. This is the variable which I'm going to check. So how am I going to check? I'll say if value, this variable, is equal to this. So if it is equal to this, that means we know that a 0 has been pressed. Alright. So that means whatever code I write over here will be executed if 0 has been pressed. How do I know what will happen if 0 has been pressed? We know that this number would be generated, so value will have this number. We already have stored those numbers earlier, so I'm going to use those numbers. Else, what am I going to do? Else, I'm going to check again if value is equal to this. That means, what does this mean? This means a 1 has been pressed. Else, if value is equal to this number, that means a 2 has been pressed. Else, if value is equal to this number, that means a 3 has been pressed. Else, if value is equal to this, this means a 4 has been pressed. So shall I write? This is actually 0 has been pressed. This is actually 1 has been pressed. This is 2 has been pressed. This is 3 has been pressed. This is 4 has been pressed. So 4 has been pressed. And I'll make this whole thing as a remark. How do I make multiple lines as remarks? You start that remark thing with a slash star and end with it with a star slash. Star slash. So that whole thing, all those statements are going to be remarks. You don't need to put slash slash in front of each of those lines. So we have figured out these are the numbers when they are pressed. The value of the value is variable is going to be this, and we have just made those partitions here now. What am I going to do if value is this? That means 0 has been pressed. We had figured that all LEDs are going to be off. So basically, what am I going to do is I'm going to say digital write uh, green LED, comma, low. I'm going to switch it off. Similarly, I'm going to make the red LED also. Uh, what should happen if 1 is pressed? Green LED should be on. So let me just copy. Okay, I'll just keep paste both lines into all those and keep only whatever I need. So here it is basically going to work with only green. So I'm going to make green as high. This is green as low. This is going to be having red as high. Over here it is going to have red as low. I think it's okay. So if the value if 0 has been pressed, both of them will be low, both of them will be switched off. If I press 1, green LED will be on. If I press 2, green LED will be off. If I press 3, red LED will be on. If press 4, red LED will be off. And this actually goes on to the next button now. We need this. Okay. Alright. I think we have coded. Okay, let's start the simulation. 0 will not do anything because they're off at the moment. If I press 1, yes, the green LED is switched on. If I press 2, it is switched off. If I press 3, a red LED is on. If I press 4, red LED is off. If I press 1 and 3, both LEDs are on. If I press 0, both will be off. Perfect program. Perfect program. So we have just programmed actually 5 of these buttons, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in the first video, we figured out what values will be generated if I press those buttons. I didn't actually do any task over there. The tasks were basically not required. We just need to figure out what numbers would be generated and how would I actually use 0 as. So we know that we used a 0 as this large number. How did we come to know about this number? You checked in the first video. We displayed the value of value. And over here, now we are using the value of value. I'm not displaying it. I'm using it. Now please remember, uh, the output of these buttons, there are so many of them. There is volume plus, volume minus, and so on and so forth. There are so many. I could use any of these buttons to perform uh, any task. For example, I can turn a motor on or off. I can do, in fact, whatever I want to do. I can turn a piezo buzzer on or off. I can increase or decrease the frequency of something by pressing this up and down buttons. You need to figure out what those buttons actually are referred to by the program. You can use the first program, the first video to figure out what those numbers are. Okay, I think we should be okay with working with IR sensors and IR remote. If there is any problem, please uh, write down any the comments in the comment section, and I'll see you in the class sometime. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.